Namaste, and welcome to day 19 of the 21-day Chakra Healing Series. We're now moving into our last chakra in the 7 gross or major chakra systems or energy systems. The crown is surrounding or beyond the physical container. So it is in that etheric plane outside our physical existence, but it is our link between the physical plane and the etheric cosmic plane. Now, the crown chakra is very deeply related to our ability to perceive and really see ourselves as divine beings. And when we see ourselves as beings beyond this container, beings beyond this physical material existence, it changes our thought processes, it changes our actions, it changes the way we live our life, because automatically we are open to becoming vessels for the cosmic, universal, divine energy to pass through us. And so, with that awareness, you become humbler, you become more receptive, you become more gracious. It is your connection to everything, to understanding that there is a divine thread that moves from you into everything else that surrounds you. So it is just as in the heart space, we open through compassion and love and gentleness and giving and receiving. We're now coming into a space of knowing, into having the ability to see things for what they are, but at the same time, have tremendous deep faith. The opening of the crown supports the work of the heart thoroughly, because the heart is about love and expanse. And the crown is about that absolute awareness that everything is happening for a reason. That absolute awareness that you are absolutely okay and held and taken care of and fine, even if you meet challenges and heartbreaks and sickness and death and suffering. It is that universality that knows life and death and life are one. Here there is no place anymore for good and bad, or yes and no, or conflict. It's the ultimate being transmuted in your life. It's that complete surrender to the forces of life and death, to yin and yang, to the complete surrender. And in that surrender, there is no more space for understanding or seeking differences. With that new awareness, with that connection, that ultimate reality is just experienced and is ever present. We only are able to take off the veil from our minds and eyes and senses to be able to experience that ultimate reality. The element that is linked to the crown chakra is the etheric element of thought, because thought is an etheric element. It's in space, but it can't be touched. It's not sensory based. It's beyond. So the element associated with the crown is thought. And I like to work with this exercise for myself personally because it's kind of thinking of my thought as matter, let's say earth, clay. So my thought as clay, and then my ability to mold that clay into anything I like, into anything. So we're now drawing that connection completely between the root and the crown. So think that you've picked up that clay from the root chakra. All right, so your visualization is picking up that clay from the root chakra, and you have that clay, you have so much of it. But that clay is thought associated with everything related to all your energy centers and can come about as any kind of thought regarding money, regarding sex, regarding your daily struggles, regarding, oh, is my child safe right now? Or regarding what's cooking in the kitchen, or regarding, oh, I need to get this project complete. Oh, I have guests coming tomorrow. It could be a thought related to anything. But then what you're going to do is you're going to take that thought and you're going to give it shape. So the exercise is going to move between stillness, where we're connecting with that thought. So we're really looking at what that thought is. We just let the thought come. And oftentimes when we ask thoughts to come, they don't come. It's only when we don't want them to come that they come. But this practice is going to help you really meet the thought that is necessary because you're asking. So when you're asking, only that which is necessary is going to come to you. So you ask for a download. One download of one thought at a time, and you catch that. And the minute you catch the thought, you transform it into a shape of your choice. So think that you have this clay, the thought is clay, and you're in that moment of stillness, and the minute you catch that thought, say for example, it's some kind of beautiful thought, what's the shape you'd like to give it? Say if it's some kind of anxiety-creating thought, what kind of shape would you like to give it? So you're in stillness as you meet with the thought, and then you use the body to shape that thought. And once you're complete, you go back into the stillness and connect with the thought. And you give a shape to that thought. So each time you're honoring that stillness, you're honoring that download and accepting it for what it is. This is a no judgment space. With the ascension into the crown, there is no space for judgment. So you're just simply surrendering to what that thought is, whatever that thought may be. And as you come into the awareness of that thought, you mold that thought into a physical shape, whatever it may be. You decide what shape you want to give it. Maybe a certain thought, you decide to design it as a bird. Maybe a certain thought, you decide to design it as a book. Let the body lead you. It will lead you. The body is very, very intelligent and will be able to preserve and use and constructively use or break down the thought in the way that it needs to be materially done. So think about thought which can't be caught as material, but at the same time, because it's constantly shifting, it's illusionary because it's momentarily shifting. So you're catching it. It's like a fishing hook. Although I must say that I'm not somebody who encourages fishing in any way. Harming animals is not something that I resonate with at all. For my own, taste pleasure, and that's why I choose the philosophy of veganism. But simply that idea, like say you have a hook onto something and you're trying to catch something. It could be any thought. So it's just it's this hook that you're hooking onto the thoughts. You're bringing it into this plane, physical plane, And then you're using that thought to construct something. And then you let it go. All right? So we're playing between stillness, observing and surrendering to the thought, hooking it, bringing it into the material realm, physically using the thought as clay to mold into a shape, creating the shape, and leaving it at that. All right? It's a great centering exercise because it'll help the mind to not do too much chitter chatter and to focus on that one thought at a time, and then to put that thought into a mold or a shape. So let's do this together a few times, and I'll do this at my pace and you can do it at yours. Whenever you catch the thought, go ahead and design it into a shape, mold it into a form of your choice. Right? When I'm wanting to find a thought, see nothing arises. That's the magic of it. Stay connected with your breath. Let your body lead you. It'll tell you what to do. It'll do what it needs to do to either retain the shape, discard the shape, break the shape, create the shape. Let the body lead you. All you need to know is that the thought is being molded into a physical object in the material realm. It's almost as if pursuing the thought, pursuing thoughts takes us to a place of thoughtlessness. And a lot of times, because we're running away from the thoughts, they seem to be chasing after us. But because we are pursuing the thought vanishes in space. So it's a beautiful centering exercise to really free up your mind and to give that thought some kind of it manifests in some way, to alchemize the thought in some way into the physical realm. It's a beautifully centering exercise. Helps us find that deep connection from crown to root, because we're giving the thought the shape of the earth, but at the same time finding complete stillness as we also lead into the movement. I hope you enjoy this exercise. Whenever you feel anxious and seem to lose faith, slow down for a moment, pursue what's bothering you. Hold on and connect with that thought. And as it comes to bother you, shape it into something beautiful, something gorgeous, something round, something beautiful to look at. Just shape it into what it's calling you to be designed into. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.